Oh, another match point.
Incredible third set here.
They changed their strategy a little bit and they fought their way back in.
There it is. Game, set, and match.
Hello and welcome to the 2024-25 APTA Tour. We're live from the Larendale Club in Baltimore, Maryland, bringing you the Baltimore Open, with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership and our tour presenting sponsors, Volley and Corient. Tournament support has been provided by the following local sponsors: the Larendale Club, M4 Paddle, MDF Insurance, Ripple Branding, the Seed School of Maryland, Stiefel, T. Rowe Price, Willpower PT, and Xenon Paddle. I'm Patty Hogan, along with co-tournament director Sam Byram, bringing you women's semifinal action between the country's number 2 team, Hanisch and Zubori, making their debut for the season, up against country's number 4 ranked team of Allison Morgan and Charlotte Sikora. Welcome, Sam.
Thanks, Patty. Great job. Glad to be doing this again with you. Let's see who we have on the near side. We've got some up close, but on the near court, on the deuce side right now, we've got Anna Zubori. And on the ad side, we've got Florentina Hanisch serving right now, practice serve. And on the far side, serving on the deuce side, is Allison Morgan. And on the ad side, in the gray sweatshirt, is Charlotte Sikora. This is a rematch from the final last year in Baltimore. Morgan and Sikora took that in 3 sets over Hanisch Zubori in a great match on a Saturday morning, which was not quite as hot as the rest of the day. I think at the time, Morgan and Sikora were 0 for 4 against Hanisch Zubori, or Morgan and Sikora were 0 for 4 against Hanisch Zubori, and they got their first win here in Baltimore against them. So should be a good rematch, but in a semi today, Patty.
Yeah, who's the umpire for today's match? And what's our scoring for today's match, Sam?
The umpire is Larendale member Jamie Dow, and the scoring is regular scoring. The men are playing no ad today, but the women are playing regular scoring.
And the Larendale Club, what an amazing backdrop for this event, Sam. Tell us quickly about the facility. You know what? We'll talk about it a little bit once the match gets underway. But it's quite a beautiful club in Baltimore.
It is. It's a great host site for tournaments, and we'll talk a little bit about it. But we're getting going here with Allison Morgan serving. Started off underhand serve. Has she been doing that a ton this year, Patty? I haven't noticed.
I don't know if she's been doing it a ton. I haven't noticed either. It's early in the season here, and it's funny, Sam. We're seeing a lot. I'm seeing people who served all last year sidearm serving overhand, particularly on the men's side. So I think everybody's trying out some new stuff early in the season, and clearly you use that serve, out of depending on what you're expecting to face from your opponents, and that sidearm serve can keep that ball lower bouncer and maybe take that, take some of the return power that Hanisch and Zubori have a little bit away from them.
Yeah, I mean, right now it says it's about 64 degrees with no sun. I'd say it's a little chillier, and it's going to be cooling down. So last year on Saturday, it was 85 degrees here in Baltimore, and now it's 64 and cooling down. So pretty perfect weather as we head into the night.
Sikora Morgan leads 1-0 in the first set.
So the Larendale Club here has 7 paddle courts, 14 tennis courts, and 5 brand new state-of-the-art pickle courts. So it's a very big facility. It's certainly the biggest we have here, and there aren't too many places in the country that have that many courts. Certainly 7 on the paddle side is great, and they host a lot of tournaments for us. The main site here, we've got matches at Baltimore Country Club, Elk Ridge, Green Spring, and Roll and Run. And Roll and Run's going to be going from 3 courts to 6 courts in a little bit here. So things are building here in Baltimore, but Larendale does an excellent job with this tournament. Food, beverage, the members, a lot of them house the players, and just been very, very supportive. So.
And Sam, kudos to you and your efforts. You and your committee down there. I don't know how many volunteers, but I mean, you think about this event. I heard people all last season talking about how fabulous it was, how you left nothing to chance, organized a great event for the players. You have $30,000 in total prize money raised for these players, and as a result, you're getting some of the top teams out here in the country. It's only the second year of your event, so kudos to you for bringing this to the Baltimore area and really showcasing the wonderful paddle community that a lot of us have known about for decades.
Well, look, last year was our first run at it, and didn't really know what we were doing or what we were getting into, but it worked out well, and I do have to thank the ladies last year. Most of the top teams in the country committed to us very early. We were extremely thankful for that. They all came back this year, and this year with the one-day tournament for the men, a 16 draw, and a $30,000 purse. Our men's draw this year is just outstanding, and we are hoping tonight is going to be a big party for the women's final at 5:30 and the men's final at 7:30. So we've had great crowds already, as you can see in the back with the grandstand. We've had some awesome matches on both sides, and this is going to most likely be another awesome match. And the other women's semi on the other court is going to be a good one too, I suppose.
Yeah, and when I looked at the draw for this just before I came on air, 5 of the 8 first round men's matches went 3 sets, Sam. How great is that? I mean, it just talks to the depth in our game. And, to get in these tournaments, the draw sizes are limited at a lot of these events. And it's limited to the cream of the crop. You're trying to bring the country's best players together and really put on a show. And you've done a wonderful job of that.
Well, we appreciate it. I mean, the 1 and 2 seeds last year, this year are I think 8 and 10. So we did get a lot more commitments on the men's side. Look, we had a great tournament last year, and Alvi and Jose, Alvi Regalado and Jose Salazar, who went on to be finalists at Nationals and have a great year, won Detroit Grand Prix. They really started their year off here in Baltimore with a big win. So we're very happy, and we got a lot of them. We got Guille Nunez here this year playing with Jose. Mark Powers, his partner, is getting married, and Alvi couldn't make it because he's got school. So, 2 of the 4 people in Nationals, 1 winner and 1 finalist. There's a great cutter by Anna. Teamed up this year to play, and look, these women's semis are fantastic. On this court, we've got a rematch of last year's final. On the other court, you got Macy and Lynn versus Tia and B, who are playing very well and a big up-and-coming team. B. Lopez and Tia Pej, they are going to be a very good team this year, and I think we're going to see these 4 teams and a lot of semis.
Yeah, you talked about that new team. B. Lopez made her, she's no stranger. She won mixed nationals with Alvi last year, and she teamed up with Taya Page, and they had a pretty dominant performance earlier today, taking out perennial top 5 team in the country, Delmonico and Gebbia, handedly. I think it was 0-2 or 2-0. So they're in the other semifinal, and it's kind of turnover time. It feels a little bit. You have some of the top 3 teams in the country are similar, but I think there's going to be a lot of shifting, within the top 10. And I think this tournament, the results here, particularly for Lopez and Page coming through, does really well for them. Get them in a pretty good position, as a seeded team going into charities.
Sure. I mean, charities is next week, and we're really happy that so many players came down here the week before and decided to, use this as kind of a warm-up for charities. We got a big purse here, so for a lot of them, it's one-day work, and they can go home tonight. And the winners each take home $3,000 apiece on the men's and the women's side. So it's a good purse. It's a good tournament. We're happy to have this type of talent down here.
So, we're in the early going here. That's a great shot of Charlotte Sikora serving 1-all in the first set here. Women's semifinal action. And, Morgan and Sikora have already played this year, obviously, together. This is, Hanisch and Zubori's first tournament of the year. And, they are just lights-out team. Two-time national champs and so talented. And I'm so happy that they're back in the courts out here. And, we'll see if Morgan and Sikora, can solve the puzzle of Hanisch and Zubori here. These three teams, I think, really have distinguished themselves throughout the course of last season, Sam, as the top three teams, and seemed like, the results a little bit more interchangeable with these teams. And I think it's important for Charlotte Sikora and Allison Morgan to get off to a good start in this match. I think that Hanisch Zubori, just having not played a tournament yet this year, kind of have to get their feet wet, Sam, like everyone does, first event of the year. And I think if Sikora and Morgan can just keep their errors at a minimum, I don't think they have to do anything spectacular, honestly, in the early going here. But they've got to make volleys, and they've got to hit smart shots. And I think that's right there. You just saw what Hanisch Zubori can do, which is anything at any point in time during play, Sam. I mean, we just marvel at her racket skills. And, a lot of teams will learn right away. You don't want to feed that ball to Hanisch Zubori. So it'll be curious, how they're going to play this as the net team and see who they're going to go after. It's a catch-22 because you look up and you have national champ, national champ, national champ, national champs on that other side. And so there's no weakness to talk of. It's just what shots do you have to hit if you're Morgan and Sikora that keep you in a really good position to maintain control of the net here?
It was interesting. Last year it was so hot when they played here that whoever tried to be more aggressive was not successful. And when each team kind of slowed it down and was a lot more precise with their overheads, that was the ticket. Both the first two sets were rather lopsided, as I recall, 6-1, 6-2, something like that each way. And then they got into a battle in the third. And really, patience was virtue last year. This year, we'll see. It's cooler. We'll see if there's more aggression. And we'll just see how it goes here. But Morgan and Sikora are such good volleyers. It's hard to get it through there. And I think that probably Anna and Floor want to be at net, with Anna hitting a lot of overheads and putting pressure.
But I think the thing is, Hanisch Zubori, obviously one of our game's top teams. When they drive the ball, they drive with purpose to spots, just like that from Floor. And you talk about how good a volleying team our Morgan Sikora are. That's the third volley error in this game because Zubori and Hanisch know the spots. They recognize openings, and they hit the ball with the right amount of pace, Sam, that they need. Nothing more. Where you see a lot of players who will try to power through when they see an opening, where these guys are so good, they can just place that ball almost at three-quarter speed to the spot they want, and they just got some volley errors from Morgan Sikora.
Yeah, look, I mean, if Anna and Floor are on, they're certainly a tough team to handle. They've been one of the best teams ever, and for the last several years. This is always a good matchup. I'm thrilled to see how it goes. It was a strange match last year with the very lopsided sets, and then a dogfight in the third. But we will see how it transpires. Hanisch Zubori up 2-1 here early.
Floor Hanisch serving, and that was a return from Charlotte Sikora.
You'll notice one of the things that Charlotte Sikora does is when Allison is returning, Charlotte creeps up almost to the service line, and it pays off a lot. Sometimes she gets caught, but she's putting pressure on the other team by being so close there. What's your take on that move, Patty? Do you like it?
Sure, I think I like a lot of things at the right time, Sam. You don't do anything off all the time because the other team will make an adjustment. But every once in a while, I think it's really good to apply some visual pressure so that, it almost can force a volley error at times because the person serving and volleying coming in, trying to handle a ball driven, at a high speed at their feet, it takes your eye off the ball for 1 second to see the position of that player sneaking in, and it can produce errors. And right there is, Sikora was right there able to, take advantage of the little pop-up volley.
Yep, and immediately there at net. It's it's an unorthodox move for for league players to see, but she's pulled it off, and immediately they're taking control at the net, which is where they want to be.
Yeah, and I think, Sam, these players are the best in the game. They can do it because when Sikora sneaks in, she's got her eye on Morgan's return to serve and the trajectory of it on its path over toward the other side of the net. And if that ball's sitting up, she knows to back up out of there. And I think you got to put a couple pieces together, and that's why at the club level, it's a much more risky move.
Certainly, I remember calling a match last year, I think, in Philly with Lauren, and it was not working as well that day. But we'll see if it continues. If she continues to work, she's certainly not going to stop doing it.
Right, and I think it invites a tactical adjustment from the other team. Does the person at the net become much more active than typically when they play? And sometimes I'll see people, cut across. I've seen Elliott and Burris do that, where they'll just make a move and pick the ball off and try to put the ball right at the feet of that person who's, playing in transition land.
Yep.
The person's not up or back. In pickle, we would call that in transition.
All right, so point to go up 3-1. Flora Hanisch serving.
And Lopez Page are up 3-1 in their semifinals. They are playing tournament number 1 seeds and defending national champs, Burris and Elliott. And Burris and Elliott serving down 1-3, first set.
They looked great against Delmonico and Gebbia, I'll tell you that. They were very tough. All right, so there's that 3-1 Hanisch Zubori early here on the first set.
And Sam, when we talk about Lopez and Page, they're a brand new team. They're new, fairly new to the sport. They've both played for a couple seasons, but they have all the offensive skills, amazing racket skills, speed, youth is on their side, and they're just an explosive team. And I fully expect them to be top 4, within about 4 more tournaments, maybe even 3 more. They just need to get some, more semifinals, more finals, and that's what they're looking for, Sam. They have a lot of confidence in each other and as a team. They can't wait to play every match, which I love to hear from young players.
Yeah, look, I mean, and it's great to seeing the women's game get another team that's pushing. I think they I can't remember what the scores were at Montclair in their semi, not as good as they had hoped. And one area I think that B struggled in last year was her serve. And then I was watching some of the mixed nationals, and she was serving harder, and she was making them all. And I think that's a big difference for her, certainly putting pressure on the opponents, but confidence for B. And they are very good. They're young, they're hungry, and now they're a team, and I totally agree. A couple more tournaments under their belt. We'll see what they do today. They're up early on the number 1 seeds and best team in the country. So see what they do today on the rest of that match. But it's great to see another solid team coming up.
Yep, and just like we said, this is Hanisch and Zubori's first tournament of the year. It's the first tournament for Burris and Elliott together of the season.
Yeah, Macy played with Georgie Alexandre in Montclair. Wow, look at this.
You know, I'm watching this point, and
Wow, what a point. She's not pleased missing that one after all. That's great work, but a great point.
30,
but
15.
how many great shots do you have to hit to win points against Zubori and Hanisch? I mean, that's why they're one of the top teams in the country. You could just see they can play defense and they can bring it on the offensive side, and really, really fun points here in the early going. It's a great shot of Allison Morgan from Chicago.
Everybody
Co-director out of the
chuckling
Birchwood
about
Club.
something and having a good laugh out there. I'm not sure what they were talking about, but great to see everybody happy and smiling in a semifinal. Well, it's the second one of those that Anna's hit.
40, 30.
You see her certainly hit a lot of spin on the overheads. I'm not sure I've seen her hit 2 full cutters in a set before. So maybe she's been working on that in the off season.
She can do it. I've seen her do it, Sam. I get to watch her play a lot, and right there she held the shot so long that she caused a little flat-footed response. You didn't know where she was going with it. She's got the hands. She can disguise shots, and I mean that's what makes her quite remarkable.
It's a great spot right there. All right, so advantage to Hanisch Zubori to take a 4-1 lead here on the first. This would be a nice point for Morgan and Sikora to take here and get it back to deuce.
Well, I'm scared for Morgan Sikora if they are broken here, because we've seen Hanisch Zubori over the years, and they are great front runners. Phenomenally difficult team. I mean, phenomenally talented team, so difficult to come back against them.
Yep, and there it is, 4-1 lead.
4 games to 1 in the first set.
Sam, let's hear about volley.
Get ready to take your training to the next level with Serve and Volley, the world's first responsive play drill. Volley's new AI-powered feature mimics real game conditions, tracking your court position and returning every serve, just like the real thing. It's the ultimate way to sharpen your platform tennis skills with targeted practice. Try Serve and Volley today on the Volley Racket app and experience the future of training. Get Volley today at getvolley.com. We had Madik Travinsky at the Elkridge Club yesterday. Had a bunch of our members out there teaching them about the volley machine, and I think everybody had a great time. We had Macy Elliott and Lynn Burrish here at Larendale doing camps all day. You had Charlotte Sikora and Allison Morgan at Roll and Run doing camps all day. So one of the great things about this tournament and getting everybody here is they can do camps, and it just elevates the level of paddle for all of the players here. Certainly on the ladies' side, with all these ladies coming down here and doing camps, and then they get all the ladies over here from their different camps to pull for them. So it's been huge having everybody coming down here and doing that.
Yeah, the last couple of years you saw the Kiro crew before Lynn was married to Sven Burrs. Congrats to those guys. The Kiro crew, when she was teaching out at Roxydicus, were huge fans. Zubori has a trail of admirers everywhere. She teaches, she's the director of rackets up the country club of New Canaan, and they have a great support group. Roxy and Nika had a great group also from New Canaan following them. So really a fun thing to see, fans who travel, because exactly to your point, they've gotten to know these players through all the great camps offered around the country. And it really makes them loyal followers and, eager to come out and support in person or by watching the live stream.
Well, another quick game, and we've got a 5-1 lead for Hanisch Zubori here in the first set. We will see if Allison Morgan and Charlotte Sikora are going to mount a charge here in the first, or move on to the second and go from there.
Well, if they move on, it's because they lost the set. You know, they look a little out of sorts to me, Sam. They don't. It doesn't seem like they know exactly what their game plan is out here. I don't know. Do you feel that uneasiness with them? A little
bit.
Jumpy here.
Yeah, I agree. And they're missing,
you know,
and they're missing, like you said, they're missing volleys that they normally make.
Well, I just think they're a phenomenal volleyer team against most teams. But I think what Hanisch, Zubori, and Burris and Elliott do that no other teams do is they spot their drives, they understand openings, getting the ball to a spot, and they force volley errors out of people. You know, early in this match, I thought that Zubori got a few too many looks. And like the more Anna moves, Zubori glides, I just feel like that feeds into her game. You know, so I think they're wise to just, you know, Hanisch is never going to give you anything. She's going to make you work really hard. But she doesn't quite have that explosive moment where you hit a poor shot a little short in the corner, sitting up a little high, and Zubori will just crack it and can break you down on your volley. Hanisch, you know, more known to kind of break down teams with her lob, you know, off-speed ball combination. But
yeah, and they've been putting Allison on the ad side, kind of the dominant side when you're going to be playing your overheads to Anna. They have Charlotte on the deuce side, so they're favoring floor there with that setup. They I think in a lot of cases you would see Charlotte actually kind of on the ad side dominating the overheads, but to the ad side. But now she's kind of on the deuce side.
Well, the player
dominating.
to the right, what you're referring to, Morgan with her back to us to the left.
Yeah, so they're definitely set up in position to play floor.
If they're playing a stagger type system, there's two different ways you can play the net, and so sometimes you'll see the player to the left, like right there, there's a little confusion because it's not quite set up. They play a stagger going into either corner versus designating where the person in pink here, the left, would play about 80% of the overheads, and certainly the overheads hit between the middle of the two players, and that's what Zubori and Hanisch are testing. They're breaking, you know, they're working that middle, and when you have a team that goes up, back into the deuce court and the ad court, they are slightly vulnerable to that. So, Sam, we'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by Joho.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. We're here at the Baltimore Open in Baltimore, Maryland, with the women's semifinal action between number 4 team in the country, Hanisch and Zubori, against Morgan and Sikora. Hanisch and Zubori, super solid first set in their debut, returned to the tour with a 6-1 win on Patty Hogan with Sam Bone. Sam, what do you think?
Well, like you said, I mean, Flora and Anna have been super solid, putting their drives in great spots and putting pressure on Morgan and Sikora, who have looked a little uneasy and missing shots that they normally would make. Like you said, that's because of the preciseness of Flora and Anna. This is an exact reversal of what happened last year in the final. Last year in the final, Morgan Sikora won the first set easily, and then it was lopsided the other way with Flora and Anna coming back. We'll see what happens. At this stage, it certainly looks like Flora and Anna are in good control, but we thought that last year, and with Morgan and Sikora, and they're certainly not going to go away. Great shot down the line by Charlotte.
Yeah, set up by the lob down the line, and so that's what we need Morgan and Sikora to do. They've got to really work a little bit more as a team versus being out there kind of hitting individual shots. And they've got to, we talk about bobbleheading your opponents. You've got to make them, you've got to have deceit. You've got to try to really make them work extraordinarily hard to stay in a point. I just think you can't afford quick strikes against Hanisch and Zubori. You've got to really work every single point.
Yeah, they are making more errors than normal. I think they've just got to take it easy, play some longer points, get into the point. See if they can break them down a little bit with some longer points without making the error.
Yep, and I think it's got to be that lob up the line from Morgan. We saw it again. That's a great lob because she got.
That looked very close.
If you can get a player hitting an overhead from around the service line, that's good because it starts to create some open spaces for your team. It doesn't have to be super deep lobs.
Well, the trend continues with a great spot into the nick by Hanisch Zubori, up 1-0 here in the second, and thus far they are rolling. Do you know what's happening on the other court, Patty?
I do. Lopez and Page, our team of the year so far, our new team, exciting new team, are up 4-1 on our defending national champs.
Wow.
And they, that game's at deuce 4-1.
Well, interesting things happen down here in Baltimore, so we will see what continues here. But definitely last year on the men's side, had some big seeds go out early. I was confident that Alvy and Jose were gonna take it, and they did, even though not everybody, certainly down here, knew who they were. And unfortunately, Lynn got food poisoning day of and couldn't play with Macy, but we had a phenomenal tournament. But early season, rust.
Hey, all these players have spent, think of the number of hours, all four of these women, all teaching pros, have been on the court, and we're only in October still. You know what I mean? Like, I just think these top players, because of summer play, summer league, all their camps, they do exhibitions all the time. It's more like mental rust than I feel like physical rust. Like, club level players typically will put their paddle down and not pick it up for 5 months or 6 months. And there truly is rust. I feel like these players are almost rust-proof physically now.
That was a great volley that Charlotte just made there. It was a great spot. It was right down the middle, and it was a super volley by Charlotte, and I think she sticks a couple of those even in great spots. Oh, she just got her with that one. And they're on the board 1-1. I think a little confidence building in Charlotte right now, so we'll see what happens.
And Sam, I like it when Sikora handles a lot of the overheads and it plays as the player to the left in the team. Out in Medina last weekend, they had success with Allison Morgan in that particular matchup with her handling a lot of the overheads. But I'd like to go back and see Sikora handling more of the overheads because she can hit that heavy roller that is so difficult to defend and can open up some court.
Yeah, and exactly to your point earlier, I think, with their uneasiness at net a little bit, I think maybe Charlotte prefers being on the other side, and Allison prefers being on the deuce side at net. So maybe they go to that and we see Charlotte, maybe they do attack the screen on a little bit more.
Yeah, great move from Zubori up at the net. Great hands play, and It's almost like you don't want to engage in a hands play with Anna Zubori. You almost just maybe throw the ball up in a lob and then get settled in, because I just think her hands are better than anybody's.
Yeah, she's got incredible hands up there, and probably gets more action on her overheads than a lot in the women's game as well.
Yeah, she's got the variety of the grip changes, and the more grip changes you have, the more variety you can have in your shot making. The other thing, Sam, is when you see Sikora and Morgan, you don't appreciate the difference in their height exactly on the live stream. But, if Hanisch and Zubori are really hitting good lobs and deep, that's where another reason why it might help Sikora and Morgan to get Sikora in this position where she is now to the left. She certainly has a little, greater range and reach.
Yeah, she's certainly got a height advantage, and they've been going a lot Floor's way, and she just is a wall back there. So maybe they try to go on his way a little bit. Maybe bait her into. Oh, that's a.
Well, I think
the
roller.
Overhead there.
Yeah, I think the roller from Sikora going on a cross court into the body of Zubori, so she's forced to get out of the way of the ball and then chase it.
Yeah, she certainly didn't need to go down the line and kind of risk that overhead right there. Great move.
Sam, we have an amazing day of paddle all day here from the Laurendale Club. Following this match, we'll have both men's semifinals will be on air, slated to start around 3:30, followed by the women's finals at 5:30. And then Saturday night, men's final, not before 7 p.m.
Yeah, we decided to do a one-day tournament this year and see how it goes. I love having the nighttime paddle, and you get everybody here after kids' sports and things like that are done, and get everybody here for dinner and drinks. We got multiple bars, we got a tent, and a lot of food going. So, tonight should be special with a 5:30 women's final approximately and a 7:30 men's. I like the nighttime finals. I know it's not possible everywhere, but we're trying it this year. We'll see what happens.
I think it's exciting. I think it's fun when you have the atmosphere. You have a hungry crowd. We know that Philly, Baltimore, DC loves their paddle, and great opportunity to come out and see it in person. If you're watching the stream and you live within a driving distance, go. Everybody's welcome, Sam, right?
That is true. There's no need to watch it on the stream if you're local. Get out here and enjoy it. Allison Morgan serving here, staying back.
Other semifinals, 5-1, Lopez Page leading Burris Elliott.
Even with how well they've been playing, that is a little bit of a surprise. What a great spot up the middle. Another forced error there.
Yeah, Morgan had the look. She had the shot she wanted.
Yeah, I think she saw a little pressure of, was it Anna kind of moving in on her, and that causes the eyes to move, and that little flicker of the eyes can push it wide sometimes when you see that pressure. My partner down here in our league is a big blitzer off lobs, and it causes all sorts of problems, and you see people miss shots that they normally would be because they see that blur of someone coming in.
Who's your regular partner, Sam?
My regular partner, his name is Steele Stanwyck, a legendary lacrosse player and lacrosse family. He won the Tuarton Award from UVA and national champion. Tuarton is the Heisman Trophy basically in men's lacrosse, best player in the country. And I found him playing Division III at our club, and I said, you got to come up and play with me, and we'll teach you how to play the game. He's got incredible hands. He's a great lobber, and he handles the lobs and the volleys, and I try to take care of the overheads and a couple other things. So it's been a lot of fun. But his family, he has 7 siblings. All 8 of them played Division I lacrosse, if you can believe that.
Phenomenal.
7 of them were All-Americans. We won't mention
Wow.
the 8th who wasn't an All-American.
What their parents feed them.
Lacrosse balls.
So Sam, in the other semifinal, Lopez and Page closed out the first set against our defending national champs. They won the first set 6-1 in their semifinal match against Burris and Urdoya. Burris and Elliott. Mick's not playing this weekend.
No, he's not. Burris and Ardoyo is an old team. They won nationals at Long Island, I think. Is that correct? In
Yeah.
2022, maybe? Something around there. 2021?
Yeah. Played in 2 finals together as a team. Phenomenal team.
Oh, she got her with another one.
That's the one I'm talking about, Sam.
Yep, no, I hear you. And they stuck about 4 volleys right before that. So let's see if these guys get back into this match up 40-30 and tied at 2 apiece. And this is a great spot, but typically Allison makes that volley.
But that's the Zubori factor. You know, Allison, you know, kind of, you come in and you know that a missile's coming your way. They're firing it, and she's got to concern herself with reaching out wide and covering the middle. And, you know, Zubori just picked her spot right in between the 2 players where there's a little bit of a vulnerability and forced the error. And that's what I'm talking about, Sam. Like, Zubori and Hanisch's play doesn't surprise me at the least. They haven't played a tournament this year. It doesn't matter. They know how to play the game. They're super disciplined and thoughtful in their shot selection. They work at all times. You can feel them being in sync together from the baseline. The net, it goes without saying, but I just love watching them work together as a baseline team.
Great rep cross court from Anna there. Take the net, little transition game.
Advantage Zubori Hanisch.
Well, Sam, there's a big problem in our sport when you don't lob very well, right? It lets the net team kind of have their way. And if I'm Morgan Sikora right now, I'd really start being really deliberate with my lobbing and really trying to, you know, pick some spots, try to open up the court for themselves a little bit. Because Zubori and Hanisch are just flawless in their play and their net coverage right now.
Yeah, they're playing great for their first timeout. I don't know how much practice they've been getting in. I know they played actually against Tia, a practice match. I don't know if it was Tia and B the other night, but I heard they had a practice match, but not sure how much they've been playing. But they look on the mark today, that's for sure.
We just saw Zubori notice that a tag was sticking out of Hanisch's pants, so she went up and fixed it. I don't think I've ever seen that happen in men's play, Sam.
No, I don't think so. But they're very outfit conscious. They can't have any tags sticking out. Men, I think they're going to leave that alone.
Inside out, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. And not a lot of matching outfits out there on the men's side, except for Avi Regalado and Jose Salazar. Well, here's the hard roller to Anna that you were calling for. That one went down the middle and left an open spot.
See, I like Sikora hitting it right at Zubori. I don't like her moving it to the middle necessarily, because that's where Zubori's forehand is just unbelievable. She'll make you pay. So I would just keep that ball right at Zubori and going over toward that side screen, towards Zubori's backhand.
Yeah, completely agree.
And this is where Morgan Sikora need a really long point here, Sam. And it goes without saying, they need to win it.
That's a good spot right there. No, I agree. I mean, longer points when you're down 6-1, 3-1. Now have an opportunity to break and get back to 3-2, but I think longer points are always good at all levels of play when you're down. And that wasn't a great spot. Allison missed it down the line. Again, don't see her miss that shot too much.
Right, but I like the look she got. She's gotten 2 good looks here in this game. So, and she, did force the error on Zubori a point ago. Wow.
Misread
what an
that
overhead.
One. Yeah, it was a great overhead. I think she misread it a little bit, but it was going to be tough.
I think she gambled. She just made a move. She was going to try to cut the ball off, and Zubori saw it and, has that cut spin on her overhead, and that ball just died on the back screen. No chance for Sikora to come help.
Well, that was certainly a must-win to stay within reach here at 3-2 Zubori and Hanisch. They were 4-1 and 3-2 is a big difference here at this stage of the game, and that was a must win for
Morgan Sikora.
Yep.
Let's hear about Corian, Sam.
Corian is excited to partner with the APTA because whether as advisors to our members or as members themselves, they are already part of the APTA community. Learn more at www.corient.com, the official wealth sponsor of the APTA.
So we're in the semifinals, the Baltimore Open. And I'm Patty Hogan along with co-tournament director Sam Byron, who has done a phenomenal job in showcasing the talent, the passion that exists in Baltimore around the great sport of platform tennis. And you're number 2 of this event, Sam. You're never stopping, right?
We'll see. We'll see how big the crowd gets tonight. We'll see if we keep on going. No, look, it's been fun. It's a lot of work. We get a lot of help from a lot of people. Nobu Tanaka, who's the director here at the Larendale Club, is fantastic. The staff here at Larendale. But we got a great committee of people and organizing the housing. Katie Poe is fantastic. Caroline Pinkin, who heads up our umpiring crew. We got great commentators, and we've got a lot of people. Jack Taylor, who is my right-hand man kind of during the day here, especially when it comes to leaf blowing. No, we've lost the leaf issue, which eases a little bit of stress off me, Patty.
Oh, for sure.
She went for a very touchy little shot there. I don't know if you go with that one down 3-2, love 15, but she tried it.
I always think, Sam, is so much easier to make that if it's a low backhand than a low forehand.
Definitely. It's just easier to put a little bit of cut on it. What a dig by Charlotte there. But it goes to what you were saying earlier. You want to play a little bit longer point, and going for a real, touchy-feely shot right there at that stage of the game. Just, at least my point of view, isn't the right decision. But try not to tell the best players in the country how to play. Certainly from me. All right, 4-2. They need a break here. Sikora and Morgan to stay in this. They're getting a new ball from Mr. Jamie Dow, our local umpire. Floor Hanisch to serve to go up 5-2 and potentially be en route to putting this away. It's time to really buckle down for Sikora and Morgan. Play some long points.
Right, I said I would play some long points, and I would really, really focus when they are at the net on their volleys. You know, they've been forced to make, they've been forced, I think, by Zubori and Hanisch a little bit on some volleys, but I feel like because the threat that always exists from Hanisch and Zubori on the other side, it makes you kind of look up and you get a little jumpy, easy to be so on your volleys, and it's just the volley errors that's the difference in this match. But it feels like a big difference.
Yep, 15 all here. A lot of those, too. A lot of missed returns. And those are just too fast, right? I mean, the point's over in 1 second rather than getting it going, even if you have to put up a lob and go from there.
Morgan Sikora had a great win in the quarters. They beat Alexander and Jeskio. Jess came out from Pittsburgh to play, but Morgan Sikora went through them 1-1, super efficient, and it just seemed like they got off to a flat start here in the semifinal.
That's just too tough, that waterfall right there. All right, 5-2, 6-1, 5-2 for Hanisch Zubori. They are rolling.
Other semifinal action, and they're just in the first game of the second set.
Feels like that's been a long game, Patty.
Yeah, the game is going on and on.
Well, to your point, Macy and Lynn probably want to make it longer and longer and see if they can get the new team to bait them into some frustrating errors. Floor and Honor are moving very well on the court, too. They've had some great digs. Missed that one.
Yeah, they have such footwork. They play so light. You see them bouncing all the time, and they truly are a team. They're in tandem at all moments. Hey, Sam, Nunez and Salazar, we saw them win their quarterfinal. Do you know who their semifinal opponent will be yet? I don't know if you have the update on the
We do not know because Ong and Murphy and Broderick Christian, shocker, are still playing their match over there. I'm turning around to look.
Okay, I just was wondering if there was a result on that. I figured that was a 5-hour match.
Yeah, someone is up 4-3 in the third. So.
Okay. And then Bentheim and Beauclair pulled out semi-upset. Looked like Philip Rams got hurt in their quarterfinal match, Boston Rams, but Bentheim and Beauclair, great match, won that in 3 sets.
They played very well. That is an upset, but when Louis and Russell are playing well, you got to watch out for those guys.
And do we know who Bentheim and Beauclair will play in their semifinal? Is it Cohn and Heck or Fraser West?
Fraser and West got through Cohen and Heck after a 3-set first-round battle against Tina Stojic and Tommy Grigorovich. There were some battles over at the Roll and Run Club, 3-setters happening over there first round. I mean, you take a look at a couple of these first-round matchups. You had Mata Travinsky and Sven Burish playing Martin Bostrom and Philippe Rams in the first round. That could be a quarters at Nationals. And then you had Tommy and Tin playing Fraser and West. I mean, you never know, that could be a quarter at Nationals. That was a round of 16 here, so we were pleased.
Great draw. Awesome shot from Morgan right there up the line. Little off-speed ball. They needed that.
Yep, so while we were talking, they got a game here, and now it's 15-love. Love 15 with Anna Zubori serving. I mean, you know the way momentum goes in this game, Patty. I mean, if they were able to get this and get to 5-4, things change rather quickly.
Yeah, that Morgan, she just missed that shot, but she saw it. She saw the opening up the line developing and kind of held her shot, just got a little unlucky, hit the net cord and bounced out.
Yeah, hit the post. They said that one went off the side, off the screen after she hit it, I think. 30-15, Hanisch Zubori. Anna Zubori serving 2 points away to close this out. Great spot by Charlotte Sikora.
Charlotte got a gift right there from Hanisch. Hanisch tried to hit a two-handed backhand volley, kind of be like a waterfall dying back there, but with the height of Sikora, she was able to pick it off and force a volley error.
Yeah, I mean, thus far, this is probably the biggest point of the match at 30-all right here. And unfortunately, another return into the net from Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte typically looks for that two-handed backhand. It went over with the forehand there, and not a good result, unfortunately. Match point number 1 for Hanisch and Zubori. Sam and the other women's semifinal. The first game is over in the second set, and Burrs Elliott are on the boards, up 1-0 over Lopez and Page.
That was a long game. We've got another match point here. I don't know if that hit the seam or not, but certainly took a odd spin off the back screen there. You get these shots, you never know what's going to happen in this game. You want to close them out when you have them, so let's see if Flora and Anna can take it right here. It's going to be tough. Great dig. Tell you, Anna's looking good. Ooh, she got that. Wow. What a shot to finish on, Patty.
Yeah, Sam, that was a treat. Two of the top 4 teams in the country. But you could see Hanisch Zubori, they have picked up right where they left off, their high level of play that we've seen the last couple of years. Semifinal action, but stay tuned because we've got amazing paddle all day long. We've got men's semifinal action coming up here, so don't go anywhere and go check out the other channel on YouTube to catch the conclusion of the other women's semifinals. Sam, thanks for everything, and amazing tournament. Congratulations to you, to Nobu, and your entire committee.
Thanks, Patty. Always enjoy doing a match with you, and we will see you soon, I hope.
You bet.
Want to see how volley can transform training at your club? We've got a great offer for you. Gather 30 of your club friends and you'll get a free 30-day trial of volley. Experience firsthand how volley's trainer can help everyone improve, increase reps, and track their progress, all while training smarter. Don't miss out. Visit getvolley.com and unlock your club's full potential with a 30-day free trial.
Hey guys, I'm Dan Hansen. I teach paddle at the Sonjin Como, and I'm an engineer as well. Today I'm going to give a tip about the cut overhead. So a lot of people ask me about how to hit the cutter. So the first thing I'll talk about is the grip. So from continental, I like to move it over just a little bit, almost like an extreme continental grip. And then for the overhead, I let the ball drop, and I'm coming underneath the ball to to get more spin on it. I'm Dan Hansen. I hope you enjoyed that tip of the week. See you on the court.
What does a good investment opportunity look like? At T. Rowe Price, we let curiosity light the way, asking smart questions about opportunities like clean water and what promising new treatment advances can make a new tomorrow possible. Better questions, better outcomes.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.